My name is Andrew, a compulsive eater. I weigh and measure 3 meals a day from the Grey Sheet, write it down, turn it over to my sponsor, and don't eat between those meals, no matter what. And abstinence is the most important thing in my life today. And for those daily reprieves, I'm truly grateful. I've been abstinent since the 21st of December 2013. And I don't know how that's happened or how it's gone so quickly. I don't know. Yeah, I used to have a full head of hair before then, but anyway, there you go. My story is that I am an addict, and food is well, I never really contemplated it because everyone does it, don't they? You know, I was brought up with it. My mother she was on the diet for 50 years, my mother, and she never lost an ounce, and she well, anyway, she did help me to eat when perhaps I ought not to. I got into that pattern of eating between meals, got into that pattern, and I never really thought it was odd. I mean, that's one of the greatest things I can, I'm really grateful for in GreySheeters Anonymous is that I actually can eat 3 meals a day with nothing in between, which is a phenomenal change. When I first came in, I couldn't contemplate that, couldn't at all. But for me, my personality is that, instant gratification isn't quick enough for me, and I want anything that has any semblance of benefit or comfort. If there was an easier, softer way, that was me. I always took it, and I always wanted more. And when I'd done it, I wanted to do it again. Just my pattern of thinking, being, everything. I always was different from other people. I think, I remember going on a rugby tour in my 20s, and I know the guy who was running the tour said, "I'm going to have to keep an eye on you." And like if you know how rugby teams behave, and he thought he'd have to keep an eye on me, well, that says something. And I guess he did, and everything was to excess: my language, my behavior, my drinking, my eating, everything. So when I say today that, apps is the most important thing in my life today, I think I do believe that, that, if there's a hierarchy of addictions, I think that for me, getting abstinent from food was the greatest change in my life, and has brought about more recovery in many areas of my life. I laugh. Recovery. Yeah, I laugh. Um, and I remember speaking to my sponsor once. How am I doing? He says, "You're not doing so bad, but you're not as good as you're going to get, or you could get." And I think it's patient progress. For me. But yeah, coming into GreySheeters Anonymous, by accident really, via the back door or whatever. I don't know, whatever. I think it was. I didn't really sign up for it. I didn't really know what I was signing up for it. I just wanted to be rid of my addiction. Well, I didn't even know it was an addiction, but my overeating, and the way I was living life. There's that question in the big book: Are you, you know, the, do you want to give up the futility of life as you're living it, or words to that effect? And I just wanted to give up. My life was futile, and I'd lost the motivation, and I was, um, my physical state was poor. I was 300 pounds plus. Yeah, I mean, the greatest humiliation was when I went to the hospital, and they it was for sleep apnea. I was not sleeping due to the weight around my head and my neck. And they tried to weigh me. They wanted to do my stats, and obviously my blood pressure was miles up and all that stuff. And when they tried to weigh me, the scale didn't go up to enough digits, so they had to wheel this chair in with like load cells on, and I had to sit on this chair, and that was great humiliation. And then I had to sleep with this stupid mask on, and which was really sort of undermining my my ego. I mean, why would I have an ego? But but I had, just had to wear this stupid mask, and you know, well, it's just pathetic. And I know I was staying in a hotel at the time, and I got to know I had this. I always had this fantasy that one day I would be, I'd have an expense account, and I'd have a credit card from the company. I could buy whatever I wanted, go wherever I wanted on this, and that did come to fruition. And I was staying in this hotel for weeks at a time. I used to go back every week. They saved the same room for me, that sort of place, and there was a very nice kitchen there, and the head waiter used to he knew what I used to like, and he used to feed me quite well. And anyway, I was having to use this sleep apnea, this CPAP stuff, and I got up to work and went to work, and then halfway through the morning, the receptionist rang up and said, "Oh, Andrew, very sorry, but there's a problem with your room. We've got a leak in it or whatever, and we're going to have to move you. Is it okay if we go in your room and pick your stuff up and go there?" I thought, "Oh my goodness, my sleep gear's still there." It was like, "Oh my god, how embarrassing," And so anyway, that's the sort of stuff I used to go through, and also, lots of embarrassing situations in many shapes or form. And anyway, the good news is that I came to GreySheeters, and you know, floated away into sunset, and everything's fine. Although it isn't, I tell you what is fine. What is good for me is that I don't eat between meals, and I weigh measured off the GreySheet. I write them down. I turn them on to my sponsor, and every day is a new day. And I love breakfast in the morning. I love I love my GreySheet food, mostly. Um, what happens is sometimes I don't take care. I mean, a lot of I get, I seem to get a lot of newcomers ask me to sponsor them in the first 90 days, and I keep, they say to me, "Oh, I'm having a cup of green leaves," or words to that effect. I said, "What are you on?" I said, "Yeah, that's not sustainable." I said, "Look, you need to put some stuff in it, and I love what somebody in this room says. You get your cup, you get your heel of your shoe out and force it in. As much as you can in that cup. But I don't wear high heels anymore. Well, it was suggested I use my high heels, but obviously somebody was paraphrasing somebody else, and yeah, so that was what happened. Anyway, that's what I do. So coming back to the story about newcomers, and just trying to encourage them, and help them. My sponsor, well, I was going to swear about it, but like he wasn't much help in this area, and I hope if I can help other people have a more of a, you know, uh, less inclined flight path, that's my job, and actually providing them with a good basis to go forward with, and also, um, yeah, so some of it. When I was just thinking about in my early days, I had no idea what I was doing or how I was doing it. I mean, what was fortunate is that I was able to go to my sponsor's house, and he had like this recovery house going on, and we lived in community, and I stayed there for about 7 days or something like that. And we all weighed and measured. We all had our own routine. Everyone had to wash up. Everyone had to do this. Everyone had to do that. You know, it was like the army. And but it was what I needed. It was what that's where I learned grey sheet. You know, and what was really fantastic about it was eating in community and that spiritual aspect of everyone around the table who've weighed and measured. You know, eating grey sheet food. You know, we all went out and did a bit of shopping each, and we all had our jobs, and it was just amazing. And like sometimes we say, all right, meet on the beach at 6 a.m. in the morning and go for the swim.
5 minutes left, Andrew. 5 left.
So, you know, we were swimming in the sea off Bournemouth at 6 o'clock in the morning when it was still dark, and then going for our grey sheet breakfast. Boy, was I looking forward to it by that time, you know, but it was all good stuff, you know. What doesn't kill you helps you, I don't know. But yeah, so today, yeah, I've got, you know, of all, you know, I do a few programs, but of all the programs, you know, GreySheet is the key. That's what I was trying to say, is the key. Without my abstinence, I don't think any of the others would work. I know that's the case, you know, and so, you know, whenever I get a bad day, you know, I'm always thinking, well, no, I need to do this, you know, because if my world will collapse at the great rate of knots if I don't weigh and measure my food and follow the grey sheet plan and phone my food in, you know, weigh myself once a month, you know, use foods off the grey sheet, you know, that are abstinent, and help the still suffering compulsive eater. And it is a joy to help people, especially willing people who really want to do this stuff. And I've been lucky in that a lot of people who are around, people who I've helped and supported, and that's a great great testimony to them, I think, more than me, that they stuck with me. And some people have left my sponsorship. How rude! But you know, it's understandable. You know, I wish I won't say that. Anyway, some people. Anyway, I've travelled the world on grey sheet. I was over in Portugal recently, and I've been over there twice. And again, we ate and, you know, ate out, and, you know, everything. There's nothing you can't overcome. If you want to stay abstinent, you can do. And you just I just have to be willing. I just have to look a bit further, try a bit harder sometimes to get what I need. You know, in restaurants, you know, I said, well, I want a salad with this in it, and they say, well, it comes together. I said, well, no, can you have it separate? No, we don't do it like that. I says, why do you not do it like that? It says, can't you do it like that? It says, well, I don't see why not. And then I did it, you know, and I got my food, and I had my backup with me, but like I didn't. I had this lovely fresh food, you know, out in the sunshine, and just asking a question politely, I suppose, a bit challenging, you know, I don't know, but what is one thing is that I'm going to weigh and measure no matter what, and if anyone gets in my way, they need to be careful, because anyone gets between me and my food, they'll get a fork in the back of the hands or whatever. You know, I don't apologize for that. I could talk about it all day. COVID was really difficult. I just had an operation, and I came out and I couldn't get food, and people were being obstructive, and you know, I wasn't really very happy with them. And anyway, but the thing is, I have to put my abstinence first. You know, it's all right for them saying they can eat X, Y, Z. I can't. I don't want to. You know, so I'm totally dedicated to it, really, when I think about it. And it brings me joy. It brings me happiness. You know, it's good to have a good night's sleep. It's good to, see yourself in the mirror. It's good to have clothes that fit me, that are fitted rather than baggy. It's good to have a wardrobe. It's good to, it's like this inner integrity, which is become apparent. I can look people in the eyes, and I don't feel less than or inferior or anything like that. I am who I am, and I don't apologize for it. I try my best to love other people. I haven't quite got the hang of that yet, but I'm working on that bit, and I do my best, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my life today, and it's not as I planned it, but it is my life, and it's the one I've got. And who knows what the bigger picture is? I need to hang in there, and everything will become apparent, apparently. So I'll wait for that to happen. And thank you very much for inviting me. And it's good to see you all, and all the best.